told you to point that gun away from me. Now do it. Boy, your age shouldn't be allowed to have a gun anyhow.
I'm warning you for the last time. I'd just as soon bring you in dead as alive.
I'm gonna bring you into your parents, young man, and you may wish you were dead before I get through telling them about this. Now give me that gun.
Next time I won't miss, Black Bart. Now stay where you are.
Are you out of your mind? What kind of a game do you think you're playing, anyway?
You just sit down for a spell while I figure out what I'm gonna do with you.
Now, you wait a minute.
I said sit down! I gotta think real hard about what I'm gonna do with you, Black Bart. That river's not gonna stop me, Black Bart!
Sometimes children become so lost in a world of imagination, they're unable to find their way back. And then there is only danger before them, as sure as my name is Boris Karloff. We're concerned now with a boy whose imagination brings him to a crisis involving not only himself, but also his family. A crisis that begins, but does not end as child's play. That's the name of our story. Our principal players are Mr. Frank Overton, Miss Bethel Leslie, and Master Tommy Nolan. Let me assure you, my friends, this is a thriller.
Are you?
Heck, why didn't you answer me?
What are you doing?
Answer me, Hank!
I can't.
Lunch is on the table. I want you to come in the house.
I have to escape first.
I want you to come now.
I have to get away first.
Get away from who? What are you talking about?
Black Bart.
Who?
Black Bart, he's after me.
Will you get inside and eat your lunch, please?
Black Bart, the notorious highwayman, is after me, and I have to escape.
Well, I think you lost him, Hank. He's nowhere in sight. Now, will you come in and get it? Your grub's getting cold.
I am his mortal enemy, and he's after me on his horse.
What are you going to do about it?
If I can get across the gorge, I can escape. It's 1,000 feet down to the jagged rocks below.
Will you stop it? Hank, please stop it. Hank!
What's going on out here?
Hank! Hank! Hank!
What's the trouble?
He fell
Off the log?
into the gorge.
To the what?
You all right? You're not hurt, are you?
I fell 1,000 feet into the gorge, but I lived to tell about it.
Oh, no.
I lived to have my revenge on Black Bart.
Get up off the ground. Come on, chum. Get in there and eat.
If If it's the last thing I do on this earth, I will have my revenge on the bandits. I swear it, by the blood of...
When you're told to do something, chum, you do it. You don't play games. Now get inside and wash up.
Your time is coming, Black Bart!
What's the joke?
Me? I'm the joke.
Well, you want to let me in on it?
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes that boy's imagination gets the better of me.
You said a bit, partner. I'll tell you how I fit the engine wars.
Pretty silly, isn't it?
Seems to me I got 2 young'uns on my hands this summer instead of just 1.
For a minute there, it wasn't the least bit funny. Not funny at all.
He can be vivid at times.
I really could believe there was a gorge under this log. And if he did fall into it, he would get killed. I'm sure he thought so.
That's even sillier.
No, it isn't. Remember when you used to do things like that?
I had better things to do with my time when I was 10.
11.
So he is.
I did those things when I was 11. They were real to me. I used to walk along a log like this and pretend it was the high wire in the circus or something with no net under it.
Very daring of you, I'd say.
I fell off the log. I had this minute of real terror. Till I touched the ground and I realized it had only been a foot away all the time. Funny.
Exciting.
When Hank fell there, I suddenly had this feeling he'd be hurt. Not in any way equal to the actual height, but in some way equal to the height of his imagination. You know what I mean?
Sure I do.
You grew up too fast. That's all that's wrong with you.
I think it's about time Hank started doing a bit of the same, don't you?
What do you want him to do, grow a beard?
Well, you can hardly talk to him unless you play like you're the sheriff or something.
What else has he got to do?
He can go fishing, hiking, something. Isn't that supposed to be what we brought him up here for?
It's no fun by himself.
What do you mean by himself? He's got good old Black Bart and the Bar B-boys to go with him.
I think he'd rather have you along.
Yeah.
Black Bart and the gang are only substitutes.
Yeah, I guess maybe I ought to take him hunting one of these days.
Do it today, will you? This afternoon? I don't want to sweat out another chase over the Grand Canyon.
I can't do it today. Maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
That is, if he promises to leave the gang back at the ranch. You know, it's really not too much fun with all those cowboys along.
You're not such a great lot of fun yourself, you know. Let's eat, chum.
You know how to catch an alligator?
An alligator.
An alligator. You know what all you need to catch one is?
I'll bite. What all do you need to catch one is?
Well, you need a dull book and a telescope and a pair of tweezers and a matchbox.
Okay.
And you go out into the swamp where all the alligators are, and you find an old shack, and you go in and sit down and start reading the book.
Reading.
You start reading the book. And pretty soon, because it's such a dull book, you fall asleep. And then the alligator comes along, and because he's so curious, he starts reading the book, too.
Reading.
Yeah. And because it's such a dull book, pretty soon the alligator falls asleep, too.
Who wrote this book?
No. Now, because you both fall asleep from reading the same book.
Reading.
Reading.
Don't overdo it, chum.
Because you both fall asleep from reading the same book, and you fell asleep before the alligator, chances are that you'll wake up before he does. So then you take your telescope, and you turn around the wrong way, and you look down at these sleep alligators till you get them real small, see? And then you take your tweezers, and you pick them up, and you put them in the matchbox. That's how to catch alligator.
How'd you like to go hunting this afternoon, Hank?
Gail.
Your father wants to take you hunting with him. How about it?
Yeah, I guess so. Sure.
I'd like to take you hunting, Hank.
Oh, that'd be great. The other day I saw these tracks out back there. Great big ones. Must have been a mountain lion at least, or maybe a bear even.
Hank, I said I'd like to take you hunting. But I can't this afternoon. Your mother's a little bit confused.
I guess she is.
Why can't you this afternoon?
I have a lot of work to do before I can start fooling around.
You like to work?
You don't work because you'd like to, particularly. It's a job. It's something you have to do.
But you'd like to take me hunting, wouldn't you? You said you would.
You can't always do just what you like to do, Hank.
I don't think you ever do anything you'd like to do. You only do things you have to do.
You ought to be grateful that I do the things I have to do. You wouldn't be up here in the first place.
What?
I didn't mean it like that, Hank. I'm sorry. What I meant was that if I didn't work, we wouldn't be able to afford this cabin for the summer. Look, as soon as I finish the article I'm working on right now, we'll go hunting. The minute I finish, that's a promise. Okay?
They weren't really such big tracks I saw anyway. I just made that up. What they were was they were really just squirrel tracks or something. Squirrels aren't much fun anyway.
You better finish your lunch, Hank.
Oh, I gotta get started pretty soon if I'm gonna catch up with them.
With who?
Black Bart. He's got a pretty big head start on me. I have to track him down this afternoon.
All right, you may be excused.
I'm gonna have my revenge on him for chasing me into the gorge this morning.
Be careful, don't let him get the drop on you.
No, I won't.
Gail, you know I have to get these articles written while they're still fresh in my mind. Why must you put me on the spot like that in front of him?
He was on the spot, too. Didn't you notice that?
Just two reasons. One, so you could get away from the city for a while. Two, so I could have the peace and quiet I need to finish this series with a magazine.
There's supposed to be a third reason.
We did not come up here to operate a summer camp for Hank. I realize he's bored with no other children around with.
I'm talking about Hank now.
Would you mind telling me just what we are talking about?
Wasn't another reason for our coming up here supposed to be so that you and I could spend some time alone together? Alone, just the family without the magazine?
Well, aren't we?
Exclusive. From all outward appearances, Mr. and Mrs. Hattering are alone together at last.
You don't have to be nasty about it.
I'm not being nasty. I mean, I don't want to be nasty. I'm just bored. I'm bored. Hank's bored. Everybody's bored but the intrepid journalist.
Oh, no. You don't want to be nasty at all.
I don't. I really don't.
I shrink from the thought of what it would be like if you really wanted to be nasty.
All right, I apologize. Let's please not argue about it.
That's a step in the right direction.
Let's argue about Hank for a change.
I told you before we came up here he'd be bored stiff after the first few days. You were the one who insisted he come along.
What's it gonna be, Black Bart? Dead or alive?
It would have been very simple just to send him back to that summer camp he was at last year.
Just ship him off like a crate of oranges or something.
Well, that's not fair, and you know it. He liked the place. He had a much better time out there than he's having here this year with the old folks at home. Be reasonable.
All right, I'll be reasonable. We can't send him back.
You mean won't?
I said can't. Cannot. That's what I mean.
Why can't we?
Because Mr. Kenyon told me he didn't want him
Mr.
back there.
Kenyon.
You heard me. Mr. Kenyon, the man who runs the place, he won't allow Hank to go back to camp. They don't want him there. Do not want him. He can't go back.
Well, this sure seems to be the first time I've heard about it.
That doesn't make it any less real.
For what reason, may I make so bold to inquire, did you decide not to tell me about it?
I was afraid you'd be angry.
I am angry.
You were gone all last summer. Hank was already home when you got back from your assignment.
So?
So I didn't want you to get angry with him first thing coming home. He was looking forward to seeing you. I didn't want you to get mad and bawl him out first thing, that's all. I just decided to forget about it.
Oh, great. My son gets expelled from a summer camp and you decide just to forget about it.
That's what I decided.
Would you like to tell me why they won't let him go back? I mean, would it be presumptuous of me to ask for a reason? Or are you afraid I'd be offended?
Oh, it was silly. It was just a little silly kid stunt he pulled.
Well, what was it?
The other boy who told Mr. Kenyon about it, he was a little confused. The poor kid was scared half to death.
Scared of what? Hank?
Yes, Hank.
You're making it up.
They were playing this game. They were pretending they were William Tell or somebody, you know, with the apple on the head and all that.
Well, go on.
Well, Hank got this gun. One of Mr. Kenyon's rifles, he left it out somewhere by mistake. Well, Hank found it. And he made the other boy put the apple on his head. Poor kid was scared half to death. I mean, it was a real gun, a real loaded rifle.
And?
He really did it. He shot the apple off the other boy's head.
Hank did that?
Blew it to pieces right off his head with a real gun. Well, you can hardly blame Mr. Kenyon for not wanting him back after that. I mean, he's got the responsibility of all those other boys, and something like that with a real gun. Bart. He could have killed that boy.
You have any other little secrets you'd like to confide in me?
No.
I mean, you can. You know I am a friend of the family.
Bart, please.
What happens to them is a matter of some small concern to me. One might say I'm almost a father to the boy.
Almost. Not quite.
What I'd like to know is what you expected to accomplish by not telling me what happened to Hank.
I already told you.
You were afraid I'd be angry?
Yes.
Angry at Hank?
Yes.
Or were you just afraid I'd be angry at you?
I don't know what you mean.
Somewhere you seem to have got the idea that every time Hank gets into trouble, I'm going to blame you.
Don't you?
Gail, it isn't a matter of whose fault it was. Fixing the blame is not important.
I wish you believed that.
Evidently, you don't.
I'd like to.
You certainly have a peculiar way of demonstrating that desire.
What do you mean?
I mean that you seem to be trying to make me feel that it was my fault that Hank almost shot someone last year because I can't take him hunting this afternoon.
Perhaps I was.
The connection between the two is tenuous at best, don't you think?
Is it?
Well, that's not important. What is important is that Hank must be made to understand that he can't get away with a thing like that. A little discipline is required. Did you punish him?
No, I didn't punish him.
Why not?
Because you were coming home, and I didn't want to spoil things.
So the two of you just pretended nothing had happened. I'm sure Hank must have learned a very valuable lesson from that.
Bart, he knew it was wrong. He was sorry, but he was scared.
Scared of what?
Scared of you. He was afraid of what you might do if you found out.
Naturally, you agreed with him. I mean, I'm confident that you assured him he had every reason to be afraid of his own father.
He begged me not to tell you.
So the two of you had this secret treaty for your mutual protection against the wrath of the dragon, the ogre, the monster, or whatever other flattering picture of me it is you conjure up in my absence?
You'd been gone for months. We hadn't been together in a long time. I just wanted everything to be happy and pleasant for the three of us.
Well, the two of you banding together against me for whatever reason strikes me as a very peculiar way of promoting family unity.
I'm sorry.
Well, anyway, when Hank gets back, you send him in to see me. I'll have a little talk with him.
Oh, Bart, do you have to go into it now? It's been so long.
Probably too long for anything I say to him to make any impression on him. After your little game of togetherness.
Couldn't we just let it be?
Yes, we could. But I don't think we should. You send him in to see me when he gets back.
Do you want some coffee?
I've got to get back to work.
It's almost ready.
I should be able to get some work done this afternoon. That is, if you have no more bombs to drop on me.
Bring it to your room when it's ready.
I don't ever want you to keep anything like that from me again. Do you understand?
All right.
Do you understand?
Yes.
That river's not gonna stop me, Blackbird!
Three and two. Fastball fouled away. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Turn off that radio.
Hey, kid! Don't try to cross that waterfall! Wait a minute, kid! The current's too strong for you there!
what do you want?
Bart,
What is it?
I'd like to talk to you.
I'm very busy.
It won't take long.
Look, if it's about Hank, let's wait till I've had a chance to talk to him about it.
Well, it's not about Hank. Not directly, anyway.
Well, what is it about?
Would you like a separation?
All right, Blackbird! Come on with your hands up! You haven't got a chance!
Would you?
I don't know.
But you think I would, is that it?
Well, we're very rarely together anyway, Bart. Even when we're in the same house, the way you avoid me, we might as well be separated.
I haven't been avoiding you. I've been working.
It's one way of avoiding me.
What do you want me to be, a streetcar conductor? Come home at 5 o'clock and put my feet up on the table?
That's another way of avoiding me.
If you want a separation, Gail.
It's not what I want. What does anybody want? I don't know what I want anymore.
I got you cornered, Blackbird! I'll give you 1 minute to make up your mind, Blackbird, then I'm coming in there after you.
Well, what's all the shooting about? You sure are making a lot of noise around here, son.
Stand right where you are, Blackbird.
What's that?
I don't think you can sneak around in back of me that easy. Put up your hands.
Look, son, never point a gun at people, not even in fun.
Stay where you are.
Point that gun away from me.
One more step, Blackbird, and you're a dead man.
I told you to point that gun away from me. Now do it. Boy, your age shouldn't be allowed to have a gun anyhow.
I'm warning you for the last time. I'd just as soon bring you in dead as alive.
I'm gonna bring you into your parents, young man, and you may wish you were dead before I get through telling them about this. Now give me that gun.
Next time I won't miss, Blackbird. Now stay where you are.
Do I really treat you so badly?
Do you honestly know how you treat me?
I was under the impression that we live fairly well.
Of course we live well. Please don't try to bring everything down to the level of logistics. Somehow you always manage to put me in the position of seeming ungrateful to you. I'm not. I'm glad you're successful. I'm glad you make enough money to pay for the things we have, but that's not what I mean.
What do you mean?
Oh, Bart, come off it, will you? I want you to listen to me.
I am listening.
Oh, thanks. What do I get? 3 minutes? Sorry, your time's up?
All right, I won't listen if you're going to be nasty about it.
I'm sorry. I don't want to be nasty.
Are you out of your mind? What kind of a game do you think you're playing, anyway?
You just sit down for a spell while I figure out what I'm going to do with you.
Now, you wait a minute.
I said sit down!
Sometimes I don't think you even like me anymore, let alone love me.
I love you.
I know you did once.
I still do.
Oh, I'm sure you're fond of me in some general kind of way. Like you get attached to things that have been around a long time. If I left, you'd be vaguely aware that something was missing, but you wouldn't really know what it was.
Do you want to leave?
I want what you want, Bart. I guess I just want the chance to make your life a happy one, if that means anything to you.
It does. Very much.
Then tell me what you want me to be. I don't know. You don't seem to have much use for me the way I am. What do you expect from a wife? You want a housekeeper? A kind of governess for your son? A woman of convenience? Is that all you want from me? I'll be that for you. I'll be all those things for you. But you have to let me know they're important to you. You have to tell me they're important, Bart. You have to tell me they're necessary. I want to participate. I have to be needed.
You are. You're needed.
I gotta think real hard about what I'm gonna do with you, Black Bart.
I know you hate great displays of emotion, but every once in a while, Bart, something. A look, a word, a pat on the head occasionally. It doesn't take much to make me happy. It really doesn't. I don't know how long it's been since you touched me. But even that's all right. I can get along without that if I only knew that you wanted me in other ways.
I want you. I want you in many ways. But my energy seems to get burned up on so many other things. Maybe that's wrong. I can't help it. What I do seems to take practically every bit of energy I have. You know, someone once said that 8 hours of mental work is the equivalent of 72 hours of hard physical labor. I can believe that. I'm exhausted when I finish working. I don't have much left in me to bring to your problems. They irritate me. I grow intolerant of them. I know that's wrong, but there's not much I can do about it. That's my chemistry. I can't just suddenly become a bum because I want to conserve my energy. I have a great need for things to run smoothly at home. I expect them to run smoothly. Maybe that's too much to take for granted. I'm sorry. But when I'm working, I don't want to even feel that I have to talk to anyone. It's very important to me. It doesn't mean that I don't love my family. It just means that I'm tired. I can't keep on being confronted by a constant array of trivial domestic considerations. I expect you to take care of those, Gail. I need you to protect me from them.
Has it ever occurred to you that if you spent a little more time at home, you wouldn't be confronted by a constant array of trivial domestic considerations?
You hate my work, don't you? You really must hate my work.
How could I hate it? I don't know anything about it. You never talked to me about it.
That's not true.
Oh, sure. You let me read an article every once in a while. If I say I like it, you beam at me and make me feel terribly bright and clever. But if I say I don't like it, you never ask me why. You just scowl and mutter something about my not being very well informed. I guess I do hate your work. I'm jealous of it. At least you have some interest outside the house. I wish I had. Maybe things would be happier if there was something I could do, but I'm not very bright or talented or clever. I don't seem to be able to do anything very well. The only thing left we have in common is Hank, and we can't even talk about him anymore without fighting with each other.
Just how long do you intend to keep on with this little game of yours?
Just about figure out what I'm gonna do with you.
What about Hank?
What about him?
Where would he live if we were separated?
Well, I suppose he'd live with me. I wouldn't want to fight about it, but I don't think he's very used to living with you.
Do you want a separation?
Please don't make me the one who has to want it. If we separate, let's try to do it by mutual agreement. It's the first thing we've done together in a long time.
But I'm the one who has to make the decision, is that it? So you can feel that I'm throwing you out. I have no intention of throwing you out.
I leave peacefully.
Look, you can't solve all the problems of a lifetime in one conversation. Do we have to decide now? Here, today, this minute.
What do you want me to do? Just go on like this? Because there isn't any easy, happy solution? We have to decide sometime.
I know. Can you end 12 years of marriage with no more thought than that?
Oh, I've been thinking about it for 3 years.
You've been thinking about leaving me for 3 years?
Yes.
That kind of hurts. You can hurt me very much if you try.
Can I? I'd be glad if I could even do that. I didn't know I could reach you at all anymore. I can't make you happy. It's comforting to know I can at least hurt you. That's something anyway. We could just go on hurting each other for the rest of our lives.
I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to be hurt. I want time to think about it. I need time to think about it.
I don't want a separation, Bart. I really don't want one. I just want to participate in your life. I want to share things with you. I want to see things you see. Hear things you hear. I'd even like to make love to you occasionally.
I thought maybe I would take Hank hunting.
I'll call him. Hey! Hey, where are you? Hey! Doesn't seem to be around.
You seen the other rifle?
Isn't it in the rack?
No.
It was there. I remember seeing it just before lunch.
You don't suppose Hank took it?
Well, no, he's been told he can't take it out by himself.
There are shells missing.
You know, I did hear some shooting out there a while ago. I didn't think anything about it.
Where was he going? You remember at lunch? What was he going to do?
He was going after that bandit character of his.
Black Bart.
Bart, that's you.
I caught the name.
Listen, this is more than child's play. He's taking out his resentment towards you on this Black Bart person. In his mind, it's you. It's like he's out there hanging you in effigy.
That's ridiculous.
You know how his imagination works.
Come on, we gotta find him.
What is it, Bart? What'd you find? What are they, rifle shells?
.22 caliber.
Is that the kind we use?
Yeah. They haven't been here very long.
That last shot we heard sounded like it came from across the river. Bart, I'm scared. For some reason, that shot scares me.
Maybe we better ask that man over there. He might have seen him.
Bart, what are you gonna do when you find him?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, try not to be too angry with him. Please, Bart, don't be too rough on him.
I won't. I might even ask him if he wants me to help get rid of Black Bart for him. Hey there.
What is it?
You seen a boy around here?
Yeah?
A little boy, 11 years old?
He had a gun.
Yeah, that's the one. That your boy?
Yes.
Well, you ought to watch him, mister. He's been shooting around here. Liable to hurt somebody with that gun.
That's why we're looking for him.
Oh, fool kid, he went right over that waterfall. He could have been drowned.
Which way did he go after he got to the other side?
Upstream.
Well, how long ago was that?
Oh, about an hour ago.
Come on.
Thank you.
There's only one chance for you to save yourself, Black Bart.
Do you mind telling me what you're talking about?
I'm gonna give you one last chance to clear yourself.
Clear myself of what?
For your foul deeds, Black Bart.
This is ridiculous.
You want to take that chance?
Why not? I can play games as well as anybody else, I suppose. What is it?
Put this on your head.
Put this on my head.
Here, put the apple on your head.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd just as soon eat it. I'm getting hungry.
You want your chance or not, Black Bart?
All right, so I put it on my head. What's it supposed to mean?
It's gonna prove whether you're innocent or not.
Of all my foul deeds?
Yeah, it's like William Tell.
William Tell.
They made him shoot the apple off his son's head.
You mean to say you want to shoot this apple off my head with that gun?
I haven't got a bow and arrow.
Well, thank God for that.
Put it on your head.
Are you serious?
I'm a very good shot.
I don't care how good a shot you are.
Put the apple on your head.
Look, what are you trying to prove?
I'm gonna prove whether you have faith or not.
What?
If you have faith, it'll prove you're innocent, and I'll let you go free without hurting you.
Haven't you got this William Tell business mixed up a little bit?
You've got to have faith in my being able to shoot the apple off.
Well, yes, but it was William Tell being put to the test, not his son with the apple on his head. It was the father who had to prove himself. That was his punishment.
That's right.
Well, haven't you got this a little backwards?
Black Bart's got to prove himself, just like William Tell.
Yes. Well, you should give me the gun and let me shoot the apple off your head. Isn't that right? Isn't that the way it should be done?
I don't know.
Come on, boy. You want to do this thing right. Now, you let me have the gun, and I'll give you the apple, and we'll just trade places.
Sit down.
Look, I'm just trying to explain that it's the father who shoots the apple off the son's head.
This time the tables are turned, Black Bart.
Oh, now, wait a minute.
Put the apple up. If you flinch or try to duck away or won't do it, that'll prove you don't have faith. And are therefore guilty of all your foul deeds. Then you'll get hurt yourself instead of the apple.
That does it.
Hank! That shot came from up there.
Well, wait for me.
Now put the apple on your head.
you doing?
Listen, mister, whoever you are, please don't upset this kid. Just please don't make him nervous.
Will you tell me what's going on here?
I'm supposed to be somebody called Black Bart. He's got Black Bart all mixed up with this William Tell business some way.
I'm gonna shoot the apple off his head.
Do something. Anything. Only please do it gently. Just don't get this kid rattled. Just please don't get this kid rattled.
Hank. Put down that gun.
Hank, oh,
I'm gonna shoot the apple off of Black Bart's head to see if he has any faith.
Can't you talk him out of it?
If he's got faith, then he's innocent of his crimes, and I'll let him go free.
Hank.
He hasn't got faith.
Hank. He's got faith.
If he hasn't got faith, he'll get hurt for his crimes.
Hank. Bart, stop him. Do something to stop him.
Easy. Please just do it easy.
He's got faith. You've got to believe me.
It's too late for him to say so anymore. He's got to prove it now.
For God's sake, stop him.
Hank. I think you've made a mistake.
Be careful, Bart.
He isn't Black Bart.
Who is Black Bart anyway?
I am. I'm Black Bart. Isn't that right, Hank?
You could have killed him.
I didn't want to hurt him.
But you could have.
I know, but I wouldn't like to hurt him. I just wanted to scare him a little, is all I wanted to do.
Scare him?
I had to scare him a little, didn't I?
He's scared. He was plenty scared.